Hello, have you guys missed us? It's been a few minutes. We are back for another Wind Down Wednesday, and we hope you guys are having a great week so far. Like I say every week, we made it to Wednesday night, but after the week, I think we've all had weather-wise here so far in New Orleans. Boy, this weekend cannot come soon enough. So for anyone new to our channel, I'm Keels. This is Nola Disney Mama, otherwise known as Courtney, and we are two members of the Crescent Lake Club. We have our own little content network here where we like to talk travel, all sorts of fun things, Disney, cruising, you name it. But on Wednesdays, we like to break it down and have a little cocktail and just catch up and talk about some things that are going on in the travel world. So how have you been, Courtney?
I've been doing well. I've mentioned before I'm a teacher, and so the year is wrapping up. So I'm very thankful for the selection that Keely made tonight. We're drinking some bubbles tonight. She'll talk about it in a minute.
Cheers!
And though my year is not totally over, it's getting there. So this feels a little celebratory. My son's closing program is tomorrow, so a little early celebration for that.
Awesome. So yeah, I was just telling Courtney when I went to the wine store, Martin Wine Cellar here in town, for anyone local that is watching. When I went in today, I had my heart set on bubbles. I needed something light, something celebratory. I was thinking of, a Brut Rosé or something a little bit different, but I walked over to the sparkling section and there was only 2 bottles of this amazing Cremant from Burgundy, and I was like, we have to do this. If you guys were with us 2 weeks ago, we actually had a wine school with the official sommelier of the Crescent Lake Club, our friend Papillon, and she told us we learned all about the Burgundy region in France. So I thought it'd be really fun for us just to carry that on and try a sparkling presentation from there. And so far, my first 3 drinks, it is not disappointed. You could tell when Courtney opened her bottle, it is so ripe and fruity. Like you can smell the apples and the pears once you pop that cork before you even, take a sniff or take a sip. It is just really, really delightful.
It's really fresh.
Yes.
It's really bubbly. Cheers.
Cheers.
And yeah, as soon as I opened it, Keely and I were backstage. And I was like, oh my gosh, you can smell the apples, you can smell the pears. Yeah.
It's just a little bit on the sweet side, just a tiny bit, but not too much to be cloying. It's really smooth, almost buttery smooth. It has a great mouthfeel. It's very effervescent, but I don't really have anything that's left behind on my palate other than just happiness from having a glass of bubbles. So one goes for about $19. So it's, a great bottle of bubbly to take to a party or have for a girls' night or, a treat yourself, or if you just want to celebrate getting to Wednesday nights like we are doing now. So Courtney kind of touched on it. We've got so much to talk about. How many days of school do you have left?
I have 7 days of class and then exams. So Thursday, Friday, and then next week, and then exams.
So we're getting to that point of the year where school is winding down and the whole world seems to be slightly opening up more. We've got a bunch of restrictions easing at different places to talk about. And then, just today, we got the great news from the CDC that kids all the way down to age 12 are now eligible for the Pfizer COVID vaccine. And so that is huge news. So we thought we'd talk a little summer travel planning today.
Yeah.
So I'll let you go first because I already have some stuff that I'm excited to talk about. Do you have any plans for you and your family for traveling this summer yet? Or are there things you're looking at?
We're going to do a few beach trips with the family, but I am going back to Disney. Shocker, I know. But this time it's a little bit different of a trip. I will be chaperoning a high school group of about 50 high school students. in July. So I'm excited about that. I have done this multiple times before. I've planned this kind of trip multiple times before. Group travel in a large group, especially with high school students, is very different. But I'm excited about it. I love doing this. I mean, I work in high schools. So this is like right in my wheelhouse, taking students to Disney World, the best place on earth. So I'm excited. That'll be in July, like late July. So I'll be planning for that and hitting y'all up with tips and whatnot for group travel. If that's something that you need to plan, look forward to, whatever, I'm here for you.
Well, and so, we were all just at Disney about a month ago, almost exactly a month ago. And I look at my watch. I know, right? And even the difference between your February trip and our April trip, the Walt Disney World was completely different. Yes. And so now with what we're hearing and seeing, the difference between our April trip and our July trip,
it's going to be
crazy different.
Dramatically different.
New reductions and just in restrictions and everything. And I think this is Courtney brought it up from a podcast she was listening to, that Dr. Sanjay Gupta said that going back to our new normal is going to be not like flipping a light switch, but more like adjusting a dimmer. And it was so crazy when she mentioned that, because I've gone to Disney in November and in April, and probably will go this summer, but just seeing the market difference between it from when I went in September to now, it's crazy, but that's the most apt description of it. So I feel like we're really starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel. So why don't you talk about some of the restrictions that Disney eased this week or is in the process of easing?
So in the past few weeks since we've talked, the hand washing stations have gone away. If you follow Disney, you know that they had extra hand washing stations outside of bathroom hand washing station or bathroom sinks in the parks. Those have gone away. They have phased out or are in the process of phasing out. It's not quite there yet. Temperature checks at all locations. Very interested and excited to go back and not have to wait in a long line to get into Disney Springs to have my temperature checked. And then also the other big thing that was announced today, details are still a little fuzzy, but the social distancing outside is going to be lessened. So these markers, which we already saw some of that a few weeks ago with markers on the ground being removed. But in terms of standing 6 feet apart in all the queues, everywhere outside, those guidelines are going to be lessened and those restrictions slowly eased out. Still at dining, everything will be 6 feet apart. Any inside shows, things will still be 6 feet apart. So that distancing is still in place in some places, particularly anywhere you're not wearing a mask, like when you're eating. But outside, which this goes along with CDC guidelines, outside they're going to start squishing us back together a little bit. Which, blessing and a curse, I guess.
Yeah, right. I enjoyed the space, but also I feel like in May or in April, they weren't strictly enforcing the spacing. No. You were almost left on your own to kind of self-police that. Mm-hmm. So, I think that's just going to make it a little bit easier to not have to worry about, if someone's breathing down your neck or something like that. I'm hoping that maybe by July 4th, we'll see a little relaxing on the mask wearing, at least outside. But, Disney's remain pretty cautious about that. But one thing that I know you were excited about coming back and happened this week was we had the return of live entertainment at Animal Kingdom with I'm not really quite sure if they're still calling it Festival of the Lion King or a tribute to the
celebration
of the Festival of the Lion King. And I have a Twitter follow who's real cute who went out there, and I think he saw the first 4 shows straight in a row. So I got to see some fun pictures and Yeah, he was very excited. And he said he shared some videos and pictures online. So, their seating is the same. It's just reduced capacity and you're spread out. It doesn't appear that the big puppeteer animals that come in to fill in the corners are there. There are no tumble monkeys, and the pas de deux birds don't fly, but they do still dance. And so they do the pas de deux from Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which I think was one of the things. Rumors were saying that they wouldn't be involved in the show at all.
Yeah.
So that's great really, really great to see a equity performer there. And it appears that all of the singers are back. I was worried that in this equity time and live singing and stuff like that, that they might not have the actual singers come back for the show, but it looks like that is the case. And the Lion King Theater is outdoors, and because it's in a center and they're really, really spaced, even though we know that COVID is spread through the air, there's a lot of ways you can safely do it in distance there. So it looks like people are enjoying the show, and I know that's probably going to be the first thing Courtney does when she gets to Disney in July is
for sure.
She is personally going to go celebrate a celebration. Yeah. A festival of
Lion. At least once.
A
few other things that I saw or heard. There's how the dancers in the beginning and end, the opening and closing number, there's like 4 on each side. I think there's like 1, maybe 2 on each side. So a fewer dancers, which the dancer in me is sad about that, but at least we're getting that choreography, which I totally don't know that choreography. No. Yes. And do it in my mind every time I hear this. Yeah. And there's no bleating or what are the other noises? You don't make the animal noises.
Like
the low bleating sound.
Or bleeding.
Or, yeah. Instead you
sound.
Clap and wave, I think. So.
That feels like a little like scream inside your heart, but
Yes.
Yeah. we'll take what we can get.
We'll take what we can get, and hope that celebration becomes more of just the festival.
Yeah, and so it seems like there's really great turnout. People are really excited, and it seems like they were able to pull it off pretty easily, especially with it being a pretty complicated, lots of moving parts show. So this gives me great hope that maybe we can get a little bit more live entertainment back, especially at Hollywood Studios. It needs a little something to kind of break up the lines, and having Indiana Jones back and or the Beauty and the Beast show would go a long way towards helping that, as well as bringing back Fantasmic. I know they've been doing work on the moat and some of the backstage cast areas, but when you think about it, that kind of show just having so many costume characters involved that they already have mitigation measures as part of their outfits and things like that, and the space away from the crowd and the size of that arena, how you really could just drop dots on the seats, and this is where your family goes to sit. I'm really optimistic that hopefully by July, we will have 1, 2, if not all 3 of those shows back at Hollywood Studios.
And if Fantasmic's back by July, I'll start waiting outside the queue at like noon.
Courtney will rope drop Fantasmic.
I'll rope drop Fantasmic. But this thought literally just came to me. So we have word that Broadway is coming back in the fall, right? Hamilton announced, I think, sometime in September. Some Disney on Broadway shows have announced that they're coming back this fall. So do you think by then, by the time Disney is opening their shows on Broadway in these teeny tiny Broadway theaters, that they'll have live shows, especially outdoor live shows like Beauty and the Beast, in their parks?
I would say that's a very safe bet. I mean, I know Hamilton's, like there's about 4. Hamilton, Come From Away, Chicago, and maybe Aladdin all sold out within hours of opening ticket sales for their grand opening nights. Now, I didn't attempt to buy any of these tickets, so I can't tell you what, like, if it was full capacity, if they were still spacing out pods, like with a seat in between or something like that. You know what? I'm going to make a note for myself, because when they do announce the Harry Potter play to reopen, maybe I will look into that one and see what tickets look like for that, to see just for the ticket brand. It's science. It's science. I'm doing this research, and it's a public service. Just like the time I tried to find what bars in Uptown still carried Miller Lite. I'm here for you guys. This is why you hire a professional, is to check into these things for you. So I'm going to check that out. I feel like it also has a lot to do with state restrictions and vaccination. I have a feeling that New York is going to be
that Florida is a lot less restrictive than New York City. DeSantis is like, I don't care. Lick each other up and down. I don't care.
It's whatever. Social distancing, let's sit people on top of each other. So I do think for New York that they're probably, this is going to be the first kind of thing like we're seeing with the Staples Center for sports out in California, is you're going to have to show a proof of vaccination with tickets to get in, which again, I'm not opposed to because I'm vaccinated. So it's just one of those things. I think it's another encouragement to just go ahead and get the vaccine, and then you really can go sit in and see a theater show and not wear a mask. And
but maybe I can't imagine they're going to do, and maybe they are, but I can't imagine they're going to keep the actors 6 feet apart in these Broadway shows. No, the break's going to be the original staging or close to it.
So I have a childhood friend who actually is a main performer in Aladdin on Broadway. And I remember following along with his whole saga of getting the vaccine. And I know the Actors Fund in New York City basically got the governor to give him a lot of the vaccine to just start getting Broadway performers and musicians vaccinated as quickly as possible. And so I know that's going to be a thing that basically your agent, if you're a performer of any kind, your agent, the first thing the casting director is going to ask your agent is if you're vaccinated or not, because that's the easiest way for performers on stage to return back to normal and not have to wear a mask for a performance and not be able to go back into rehearsal rooms and all that kind of stuff. So I think that was one of the reasons why the Actors Fund partnered with the state of New York to start getting all these, not fast track, but make sure that these vaccines were available to all of our performers. Yeah.
I guess what I'm saying, why hasn't Disney done that for their parks? But I know it's different unions or whatever. But just kidding, I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to ask. But it seems to me that there's got to be enough performers that are vaccinated that they could do these shows closer to the original staging.
Yeah,
maybe not.
And so,
but
I'm just having to. So for best recollection, don't take this as gospel. It's just going to be kind of in the rough frame of how it works. I would imagine that their casting periods would be probably this summer for park entertainment at an equity level. You would cast in the spring to have this rotation through rehearsals, which could be anywhere between 4 and 6 weeks. And also I'll talk Beauty and the Beast specifically. Beauty and the Beast is a combo of equity performers and bid general costumed entertainment, which that's your minimum wage working regular park entertainer, which we know for a fact that they are restricted on equity. They have cut back a lot of their cast members that were originally in entertainment are still furloughed or have been moved into part-time employ in different areas. So there's that. Also, I had some thoughts on why certain things weren't in Festival of the Lion King. And I think that has to do also with stagehands, which in Florida is another equity group that gets paid quite a bit. So for the process of Disney for doing the live entertainment shows, I think they decided to roll with one and learn best practices. and kind of get a baseline for what the overall cost versus return for running those shows would be. And if I had to guess, they're probably going to start, because I haven't seen any casting notices for equity performers for any of the domestic or cruise line shows yet. But to be honest, I haven't started watching it as closely as I used to. So I'll keep an eye on that. But just because of how equity contracts go for some of the, basically any performer that uses their own likeness and their own voice is going to be an equity performer.
Right.
So I haven't seen any Disney casting notices for either Florida or cruise line. So I think when we start seeing casting notices, that's going to give you an idea. Once they cast and fit, 4 to 6 weeks after that for rehearsal is when we'll start to see shows. And I have to imagine their target is probably Thanksgiving. 50th. Yeah, maybe 50th, but they would like to have everything running, especially entertainment wise, from that perspective, at full by Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of that. I think we still have hope for a Christmas parade. It may be a scaled down Christmas parade. But then again, we never know. They may be working with ABC or something to actually bring back a live broadcast of the Christmas parade, like they used to do on Christmas Day back when we were younger.
Actual live.
Yeah. Just kind of as a return to normalcy instead of all this pre-taped stuff from October that covers every coast and all that. So who knows? Lots of opportunity out there. But I'll keep an eye. I'll start keeping an eye on casting notices and stuff, because that'll be the first sign that we're going to start to see stuff return to normal. I'm a little surprised we haven't seen cruise line entertainment auditions. So that's kind of worrisome, because you figure with everything changing on that, they'd want to get a jump on that. But who knows? You know what? Things change every day.
Yes, literally every day.
Just today I was on a call with the Cruise Line Industry Association, and they were breaking down basically what all we hear is the fight between the CDC and CLIA about restarting the cruise industry. And just today, the CDC released new guidance as part of their conditional sale order that if a ship meets the 98-95 vaccination requirement, you don't have to wear masks outside of the pool. You really just have to wear a mask walking inside to your destination or in an elevator. You can take them off to sit at your table and have your 3-course meal. You don't have to put your mask on between bites. Just when you walk up to get a drink and then go sit down, basically everything that we're doing in real life, you're going to be able to do on a cruise if the cruise is fully vaccinated. And the next great thing is they talked about excursions. And one of the worries was that you were only going to be, you might not even be able to get off the ship. And if you were to be able to get off the ship, you would only be able to do cruise line exclusive and cruise line offered excursions. Well, now they're saying in countries that do, exactly, because those are more expensive. But now they're saying as long as it meets the port rules, and if you're on a fully vaccinated cruise, you can plan your own excursions as long as you wear a mask indoors. Now, again, this falls into the people policing each other or policing themselves, but it's still great news compared to what we were hearing just days ago from the CDC regarding cruise lines and CLIA and just cruise lines themselves on what they were going to do. I know quite a few of them were hoping to announce their reopening plans and what the cruise experience is going to be like today. I believe we're going to hear that from all the major ones except for Disney next week. And they seem really optimistic. A lot of them are starting their international-based cruises next month, so it'll be good for people that are partaking of those to know what their onboard experience is going to be like, in the winding down of the pandemic. Yeah. But, that's real optimistic, because my CLIA call on Monday was not at all as confident. No, we're even hearing that maybe Canada is going to waive part of an act that requires Alaska cruises to make a stop in Canada. And these are ships that are not flagged in the United States or Canada to meet the closed loop requirements. That they may allow them to make a technical stop in Victoria where you can't get off the ship, but at least the ship can come in and make what needs to be met for that, which would go a long way to saving the Alaska sailing season for sure, especially for that economy that is so dependent on it in the summer. So we're seeing a lot. Like it's almost every day I wake up to something a little bit new and super exciting and super happy. And it's, I feel like we're getting really, really close. Just get the vaccine, guys. Just get the vaccine. I promise. You may not even feel bad. I felt bad. You didn't really feel bad.
I had a headache after the second one. That was it.
I think,
but this whole year's been a headache, so
you're right. So how can you even tell is this vaccine related or what? Yeah. So get the vaccine. I promise it'll be absolutely worth it. Absolutely worth it, because that was essentially the tone of the CLIA call: is you can go on this cruise. You don't have to wear a mask as long as you're vaccinated.
Right.
So
done.
Which is of interest to me because that's my summer plans involve a lot of ships. So
I was gonna say, I know you have some skin in the game in terms of what the CLIA recommendations are.
Just a little bit. Yeah, just a little bit. I actually have 2 deposits in and 1 more I'm considering, but it looks like I'm definitely going on the brand new ship from Carnival in the fall, the Mardi Gras. We'll be doing that in October, right after the 50th celebration at Disney. Gonna go to that. Gonna wake up the next day and ride Ratatouille, and then head straight to Port Canaveral for 7 days on the Carnival Mardi Gras. Which is weird that the Mardi Gras is going out of Florida, but we'll let that slide. I also have a deposit for this summer at the end of July on one of Celebrity's newest ships. She came out in 2018, but it's the flagship of the Edge class, the Celebrity Edge. And those are the ones that you can see when you see pictures. It's got like this big orange, looks like the annual pass slider from a Magic Band that's up and down on the side of the ship. So I'm going to be going on that out of Fort Lauderdale, fingers crossed, at the end of July for an exotic Southern Caribbean itinerary. Can't wait for that. And then I think we're going to do Vegas, but I did Vegas at Christmas. So Vegas is wide open right now. It's like completely back to normal. So that's kind of what the child-free portion of this stream
show. What's your Mardi Gras itinerary? What's the itinerary for that?
My Mardi Gras itinerary. Funny thing, I have it right in front of me.
Oh.
So it's called the 7-day exotic Western Caribbean cruise. It leaves from Port Canaveral. We have a day at sea. Then we have a day in Cozumel, which I've already booked the excursion for that. And this actually is the only excursion that I do on any ship that's directly from the cruise line itself. And it's called the Elite Champagne Catamaran Tour. And it's 4 hours on a catamaran. They do lunch, go snorkeling, you get unlimited drinks. They'll hand you champagne while you're floating on a noodle in the ocean. It's pretty much the best thing you could ever do. So I'm excited to take the girls on that when we're in Cozumel. The next day is Costa Maya, and I think we're just going to do the beach then. And then Wednesday is their private beach island, or private beach in their private island right off of Roatan called Mahogany Bay. So I'm very excited to see this. And then we have 2 more days at sea before coming back to Port Canaveral, which normally I wouldn't like an itinerary with this many days at sea, but this is a brand new ship. It's got much stuff. It's got an actual roller coaster that you control the speed of the motorcycles that you ride on the roller coaster. It's got escape rooms and all sorts of crazy dining. It's themed like New Orleans. So it's got an Emerald's restaurant on there, all sorts of nonsense. But we got a really great deal. I'm very, very excited. I have a feeling I'm not going to see as much trash bag luggage on this one as I usually see on the Carnival ship that leaves from here in New Orleans, but I'm always up for a surprise. So I think we're really excited about this one. It's something we've been talking about for a while, and I was kind of waiting to pull the trigger just to see if, what the CDC was going to say. And I just said, October. I'm a betting lady, and I feel like October, we're going to be good to go. So I'm a little more skeptical about what the opportunity is going to be like, to be honest. But hey, if it's not up to my liking, I also have my eye on a Crystal cruise, which is adults only, out of Nassau, and it just island hops all the beaches in the Bahamas. So I can be flexible. I can
Options.
go with the flow on this. Options. Hey, you know what? It would have been nice to have these kind of options last summer. So
yeah.
I'm ready.
Look, if any cruise line needs people to test their ships and test their policies and procedures,
I'm ready.
We got our shots.
My vaccine card is with my passport right now, so I can be at the port. And literally, if they want to run it out of here, I can be in the port in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
no joke.
Yeah.
So so
trash bag luggage at that point.
With my trash bag, I'm literally just going to throw a swimsuit and a sundress into a grocery store bag and head right over there. Grab some disposable masks, grab my passport with my vaccine card in it. I'm ready. Let's do this. So I was talking about cruise deals. Cruise lines aren't the only thing that are trying to get you back to visit, to travel with them this summer. We just got a promotion from Disney that was expanded to run through this summer. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so they have a room-only discount through the summer, and then they extended that room-only discount through September 29th. You can save up to 25% at most resorts. It goes from 10 to 15 to 20 to 25, depending on your resort category, depending on the room that you're looking at. But similar to some of these promotions, or any of the promotions that we've seen since the pandemic, since they've reopened with the pandemic, campsites are even included in this promotion. Pre-pandemic campsites, not only were they never on promotion, but like you couldn't, like especially during the holidays, during popular times, campsites would book out 500 days in advance. There's people that literally spend a month at a time at the campsites at Fort Wilderness. Not necessarily my cup of tea, not necessarily how I want to spend my Disney vacation, but I can see why some people would like that. But even they are on discount, are on promotion right now. So that's telling me that they are wanting to get people back in the park. This promotion also came, have they officially said they're increasing capacity, or is it just the assumption that they're increasing capacity for the summer based on park pass availability? Because around the same time, park pass availability for the summer turned almost all green. We have some yellow and gray days now, but there was a huge influx of park pass availability around the same time that this promotion was released.
Yeah, I think they're at this point. Well, we'll know tomorrow, because there is a Disney investors quarterly call tomorrow. I believe it's at noon. I'm going to be handling that one for CrescentLakeClub.com for the website and our blog. If there's anything super breaking news, Teets and I may jump on for a happiest hour tomorrow night to talk about it. But I imagine if they're going to make any announcement about changing capacity or anything, that's going to be the first thing that gets brought up in the park segment on the investors call. And if I had to guess, they're going to say they're going to like 60 or sliding scale, whatever. They may not even assign it a number anymore. I think we're all on to them with this foolishness of 35 and 50% and all of that. I imagine they're going to talk quite a bit about the capacity tiers in California, being completely eliminated by June 17th. And so I think they're just going to kind of let Disneyland catch up to Disney World without giving specific numbers that we know they're kind of fudging to begin with. I think that's going to be the biggest thing. I don't think we're going to get any other major announcements, except maybe a cruise line idea of when they're going to get caught up on that. Most of these investor calls have basically been a lot about streaming. That's what they're on, what they've made their money on in the pandemic. So as we're starting to see things loosen up and people are traveling and vaccine rates raising, I'm pretty optimistic tomorrow, maybe a little more travel related than stream related. But you know what? I am wrong about these things every single time.
All the time. Teets was pretty on the nose with a lot of the stuff for the Wish. I'll give him that. I will give him props for that.
I had a couple things I was like, I called it, I knew it. But yeah, he was pretty on top of it. So, we'll see.
Shout out
but
to
like I said,
Keats. I don't think he's watching because he hasn't commented anything.
No, he hasn't. He may have forgotten. He usually forgets that we stream on Wednesdays since we haven't had a stream in a while.
Yeah.
I tried to organize a stream for Sunday, and he's like, I'm busy. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, that's the day I graduate. I'm like, are we sure you're graduating?
Excuses.
I'm like, right? You're not even walking across the stage. I'm like, we can stream live your virtual graduation and also talk about Disney because that's all he wants to talk about. So that's what I'm hopeful for tomorrow. Universal is kind of falling in lockstep with what Disney is doing. Actually, they're kind of pushing Disney in a way with regards to social distancing and all of that. They did have
and in California.
No, go ahead.
I was saying California, whereas Disneyland is still open only to California residents, they are opening it to everyone if you can show proof of vaccination. So talking about pushing, like they did it first. How long is it going to be till Disney follows suit?
Yeah, and I think the last thing I kind of saw about that was they might start allowing out-of-state guests if the tiers go away on June 17th. So that's going to be another interesting thing to watch for in the investor call tomorrow. Like I have to believe that this is really what the investors want to hear about is getting what they're thinking the second half of the year from the parks and resorts domestic side is going to look like. So here's fingers crossed we hear some new fun stuff, maybe a little bit more on the status of some things going into the 50th, but I think we got all we're going to hear on that with just holding Ratatouille until then. I don't think we're going to get Tron or Guardians of the Galaxy. I don't think we're going to get the Space Wars Hotel until next year. No. We might get some more. I mean, heck, at this point.
2022. They said it's going to open in 2022. So it's really just a point of when they're going to announce pricing for that. I had to think what year it was right now. Yeah, in 2022. But yeah, waiting to see pricing structure. Or is it going to be a 2-night adventure, a 3-night adventure? So that'll be interesting.
Is it going to be variable price like a cruise? Which I think that's a given.
It's going to be.
Is there going to be add-on? Yeah. Is there going to be add-on experiences? Like a cruise, your specialty events, or it's not COVID, guys. It's not COVID. She's vaccinated. It's not COVID.
It's not.
It's not COVID. It's not COVID.
It's champagne.
Just drink it too fast. Yeah, so that's going to be real interesting. I think it's going to be more than a Disney cruise. I'll be interested to see what we see. We're going to have. We're 2 weeks away from, or less than 2 weeks away from booking for the Disney Wish in 2022. So I'm interested to see what they're going to price this ship out at. Yeah, because this ship is a 7-day ship that is doing 3 and 4 day routes. So they are going to want you to stack up back to backs to make a 7 or a 10 day to get to experience everything that the ship can offer without missing out on Castaway Cay. And I have a feeling that is going to be outside when combine those 3, it's going to be more than a Panama Canal crossing, if I had to guess. I've been wrong before, though.
Yeah,
we'll see. So
I'm hoping to book something in the first summer, but we'll see because I do not have platinum status with Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah. So, but see, I think you're going to be greatly helped by the fact that there are just 3 and 4 day routes.
Right. There's so many options.
There's so many options. Then, we'll get to see what they're going to do with the other ships because we will have that puts 3 ships currently going out of Port Canaveral, all on 3 and 4 day routes, I think. Yeah.
So let's switch it up a little bit, huh?
We'll see. We've got a city still on lockdown, so I can't start campaigning for that Disney ship to come here just yet. But there's plenty of ports that would love to take a Disney cruise ship year round, like right here. right down the street that way. So then Universal just opened up a couple more hotels or reopened. Sapphire Falls and Aventura should be coming back online soon. I think that they've released, they kept the Mardi Gras food booths up, just took the Mardi Gras name off of them, and they've got another food festival running out there through the summer. I think it's Taste the Flavors of the Summer. Really, now we're just on a countdown to when Halloween Horror Nights goes on sale and how they're going to run that. And I think they are just going to wait until the absolute last minute to see what they can do, capacity and all of that wise. Universal. And I will be at Halloween Horror Nights, screaming my face off. Why I go when I don't like things jumping out at me, the world will never know. But I'll be there reporting live from Halloween Horror Nights.
Yeah.
I think that's basically it. All the fun summer things that I can think about that we're talking about. I'm seeing some not so great deals on Vegas hotels. Vegas hotels are really expensive unless you go midweek, which always tends to be the case. But you can tell that's really the location where people that are vaccinated and ready to get out and have a fun weekend with friends, not in their own city. So, and I haven't looked. And you said, what's Park Reservations like for this summer? July 4th, I guess, because of Disney.
Yes. June is all yellow and a few gray days, a few days with no availability at all. July is almost all green except for around 4th of July, except for that first week of July is some yellow. So still plenty of availability. It's definitely hard these days to book a last minute trip. If you look at the calendar for the next week, a lot of gray. You can't, if you were to say, if you told me today, I want to go to Disney World this weekend, you wouldn't get into any parks right now. So can't do those last minute trips like you used to be able to do. But like we said, hopefully that will loosen and lessen in the coming months as they're able to increase this capacity. Which, I mean, if a big issue with the capacity is not having space to keep everybody 6 feet apart. And if that is lessening, then hopefully the capacity will increase. Okay. And it looks like Keely has left the building. She's probably restarting her internet. We've had some terrible, terrible weather.
Oh my gosh. Back.
Did you lose power?
Yes. It flicked on and off. Give me just 1 second. I'm here. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. We can't see you, but
okay. Give me just a second.
But yeah, so there also another thing that I think is interesting as I look for other clients and myself and whatnot for planning purposes. Thanksgiving, super popular time to go. November is completely green. Just Christmas, between Christmas and New Year, completely green. So I have to believe there's more people, just knowing what I've booked for people, I have to believe there's more people booked for Thanksgiving and Christmas than there are booked for the summer.
Yeah.
But yet their park capacity is green. So at least by then they're expecting greater capacity, or people aren't booking park reservations when they book their hotel, which is not advisable.
Right.
As soon as you have a resort reservation, you need to book your hotel. You need to book the park reservations.
You need to book your park reservations. Even if you anticipate changing, if you want to go to
at least get something. Yeah. Actually, book Hollywood Studios every day you're going to go.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And then, because even if you don't go, that's at least gets you into a park, and then you can park hop after too. So as we learned, that's probably the most effective way. It also increases your chance of getting on Rise of the Resistance. Yeah, is by having multiple Hollywood Studio days. So that brings up a really interesting point. The hotels at Christmas are
insane.
Like, some of them are borderline cost prohibitive for a Christmas stay. So we have at the Crescent Lake Club, if you are interested in going at Christmas for a week, we do have an exclusive group offer that will be available, and I believe it's $337 a night at Coronado Springs, and that's for a run of campus. So any of the casitas, and it goes up to $401 a night with taxes if you are interested in staying in Gran Destino Tower. And if you were to price that out yourself, or you have one of us price it, it's going to be the best offer on Disney property for Christmas. We've got a great special group rate at Grand Floridian also for $999 a night.
Which is absolutely insane. But if you want to stay there at Christmas, give me a call. Email me.
Yeah.
I would be happy to help you plan that magical vacation.
She will make all your Christmas dreams come true. That's Courtney at crescentlakeclub.com. We're going to have more details within the next week or so on that. I believe those are going to be able for us to book on the 24th. And you can just stay tuned to the blog on crescentlakeclub.com. That's our website. Also, we are on all the socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, spreading all the latest news and deals and things as we find them. You can also meet all of us on there and get to know all of our agents a little bit. We've got 2 new, and they're males. So Teets is no longer flying solo as the only dude in the Crescent Lake Club. We've got 2 new agents that are joining us, and you'll get to meet them and learn more about them. And they're kind of tackling a different angle for traveling. It's Disney dads. So it's Disney travel from a dad's perspective, which is going to be interesting because I don't know if either one of them know where the baby care center is or what the baby care center is for. So
I bet they know where to get a beer.
I bet they know exactly when all of the beer stands, carts, and bars open at all of the parks. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm looking forward to having them on stream and you guys get to meet the Jays, Jerry and Jason. So yeah, that'll be fun. So you can meet all of our agents. You can learn more about our travels. We do some really great things on there with our blog items, hotel reviews, I did a cabana review from Volcano Bay. We've been trying to document all of our experiences from our April trip. We should have a group stream pretty soon where we can talk about that. And then also, I think 1 and 2 are trying to make a quick run in July. Courtney is also going in July. And Teets
we'll probably have someone there
July.
Almost every day in July.
Yeah, because I'll be in this. I will probably be in the States in July. So we'll see. Teets is going to a very first time experience for him. He is a new Universal Orlando annual pass holder, and this will be his first trip as an annual pass holder. And it's really cool. He's staying at 2 new to him resorts. He is doing the Endless Summer Suites, which look amazing. So I can't wait to hear his review on that. And then I believe he's moving over to either Royal Pacific or Hard Rock Hotel for 1 night to take advantage of that sweet free express pass that comes when you stay on property at one of the 3 premium resorts at Universal. And he's also going to get to go to Volcano Bay for the first time, and which is really interesting because whenever he travels with us, we always tell him to bring a swimsuit, and he never listens. So our last trip, he had to go to the Boardwalk store and buy a swimsuit. So I'm looking forward to see how sunburnt he gets because I don't know that he owns sunscreen. So his trip to Volcano Bay should be very exciting. So he is there over July 4th weekend. So while Courtney and I are optimistic about more live entertainment coming back, he also made a couple park passes because he is optimistic about fireworks returning. What are your thoughts on fireworks coming back to the Disney parks?
I really hope this summer. They were testing music in Epcot, I heard the other night.
Mm-hmm.
I heard videos of that. So I don't know. Like we said earlier in the stream, Fantasmic to me just makes the most sense. I've heard other people say they think Epcot makes the most sense to have a show come back because it's easier to distance I think Fantasmic's easier to regulate in terms of distancing.
Yeah.
But
My thinking is Fantasmic or Harmonious / Epcot Forever would obviously be way easier to bring fireworks back to and still follow social distancing, because you know what? You just go around the World Showcase and you drop those little blue circles and you kind of make it. This is where you and your family congregate. And if they truly are only doing X amount of capacity in the parks, it should be really easy to kind of run off of that baseline.
All fireworks are outside, and if if there's been any theme over the CDC's most recent recommendations or not changes, but like the things that they said is that we are so much safer outside, and so like that has to come back before some of the inside live entertainment.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to both.
Right.
Like, to me, fireworks are just performance in a different way. It's someone else's, putting on a show in the sky. So
someone else created it and orchestrated it and choreographed it. It's just not human beings that they're working with. Right. So I'm hopeful. I think July 4th may be a little optimistic, especially at Magic Kingdom, but I think going the way they're already testing the Harmonious barges and they were testing out the sound for Epcot Forever, I think we will. I don't think we'll hear about it in the investor call tomorrow. Maybe I should start saying we're not going to hear about it tomorrow, and then we actually will hear about things.
Yeah, I like it.
We're not going to hear about fireworks at all tomorrow, so don't even bother tuning in. It's going to be all streaming, just all streaming. Nothing. Disney Plus, Star. Disney Plus in Asia. That's all it's going to be, and Black Widow. That's all they're going to talk about. But so I think. So Teets is banking on July 4th. He went ahead and made a couple of park passes in the event that there are fireworks. He is going to hustle over to either Epcot or Magic Kingdom to see fireworks. And so we shall see how that works out for him. I do think in July, heading into the fall, we'll definitely have fireworks back by the 50th. Yeah. If we don't have fireworks back by the 50th, something has gone real awry in this country, or Disney just doesn't want to pay for them. So fireworks, live entertainment, parades. Well, I think we did talk. Did we talk about Boo Bash? So there is no there is no not so scary Halloween party, but just to keep the spooky season alive at Disney, to try and steal a younger, more family-oriented crowd away from Halloween Horror Nights, which is not kid-friendly or Keels friendly at all, but they are going to do a hard ticket after-hours event on certain nights during the spooky season called Disney's Boo Bash. Boo Bash. No parades, no meet and greets, no fireworks, candy.
No special shows. Did you say that?
No special shows. Maybe like a special photo pass. Maybe. Yeah. But it's basically just the trick-or-treat trails and spooky lighting and stuff.
I'm reading from the release. Halloween-themed cavalcades, character sightings throughout the park, probably similar to what we're seeing now, socially distant. Special performances by the Cadaver Dans. Do love the Cadaver Dans. Decor, lighting, music, and treat stops with plenty of candy and so much more. So much more, leaving it open for nothing special, probably.
And let's be honest. Have they announced the price point on this bad boy?
They have not. If I had to guess, it's going to be the same price or more than whatever the last ticket prices were for Not So Scary. Because, again, they were closed for a long time and have lost a lot of money. And people are going to pay. It's still going to sell out.
Well, and the craziest thing was, even before the pandemic, Mickey's Not So Scary wasn't selling that well, so they did a Florida resident. If you were a Florida resident and you had an annual pass, you could get the spooky pass or whatever it was called, that you could go to every Halloween party except for Halloween night. And
I remember that.
So my guess is for Boo Bash, it's going to land somewhere between $119 and $139 plus.
Nope.
And you're gonna get that kind of stuff. Maybe you're gonna get like what they were doing at the other after hours events, like popcorn and ice cream and bottled water and so like bottled beverages, and some rides are going to be open, but it is
and
going
it's
to
short
be
wait times. Like the hard ticket parties do have shorter wait times. I enjoy them.
I think it's going to be closer to like what you closer to a closer experience to what you got for the villains after
the villains after hour.
Yeah,
but there was a stage show, or there was a castle show for that for villains after hour, and there was a parade. There was a full on parade for that.
Did you just get that NOLA ready text?
No. What?
Precautionary boil water advisory in effect uptown, Carrollton to Expressway to Mississippi River.
Oh, that's not me. Lucky you. Lucky you.
I was going to take a shower after this, but I guess I'm not. Anyway, so that's, I think I'm really interested now. I'm really excited to hear them just talk about streaming tomorrow on the investor call.
Yeah.
Nothing
about any kind of Christmas celebration. Nothing.
I don't think we're hearing about Christmas until July 4th. I'm trying to think back when they would probably have to start casting for Christmas Parade, because Christmas Parade is usually already in rehearsals when the Halloween spooky season rolls around. So for back in my time period there, you either were in Halloween, like Halloween Parade, Not So Scary Halloween Party, or you were doing Christmas. You couldn't do both unless you happened to be like a number one face character. So we should hear something about Christmas maybe June or July. I think that's another one of those wait and see. I'm sure they already have plans full well underway with different levels of contingencies on what things look like. And they're just going to really hold it close to the vest until, we get to the point where they're comfortable announcing it. I think they had to go ahead and, in fairness to Christmas and the 50th, just let Halloween go at this point. Also probably because the 50th is just on the 1st, and you don't want the Halloween kind of spooky decor to overshine everything that they're doing for the 50th. So that's why I think we'll see still like the pumpkins and stuff like that. But I think most of the decor you see, especially at this after hours event, may likely be like projections and lighting and stuff like that, which could still be cool too. It's something different. So yeah, I think that's probably safe to bet. It does look like all the Christmas. We know we're not going to get dream lights at Christmas anyway, because you can't cover up all that work they put on the castle. But I think Christmas kind of goes a little bit more with what the 50th stuff looks like versus Halloween. Who knows? I could just be making stuff up. But so yeah, it'll be interesting to see. So the investor call is at noon. I'm going to be blogging it live on crescentlakeclub.com. And if Teets will give me the password, I'll be live tweeting it as well. So we'll see if he puts me, if he lets me.
He puts the owner of Crescent Lake Club as
the owner, the one who pays the bills for this bad boy. If he lets me have the keys to the Twitter account, I'll be live tweeting that, as well as just posting a running blog on everything they talk about, all of the streaming. As far as shows go for next week, I do not think we will have a Sunday show. We shall see. This could be pop up just kind of like a jury duty notice. You never know. Teets and I are going to be back.
You know how you can know, Keely? You know how you can know? If you subscribe to our YouTube channel.
If you're watching us on YouTube, go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications. So again, just like today, if you didn't know we were going live, because we didn't talk about it, and we've been gone for 2 weeks. So that's why you can get all the updates. Same if you're watching us on Twitch, hit that purple follow button and you'll get alerted every single time we go live with everything, because we will have potentially a happiest hour tomorrow talking about anything exciting, breaking news wise, that may happen during the investors call. We may have something on Sunday. You never know. But do follow our social media accounts, because our West Coast correspondent, Marcus, will be live from Disneyland. And I guarantee you he hasn't slept a wink since he got his tickets, because he cannot wait to go back to Disneyland and take his little kiddo, take his family for a day out there. Teets and I should be back on Monday for a Marvel Monday. And then I think Marcus and I are going to do a happiest hour on Tuesday, if the NBA schedule permits and break down his trip to Disneyland. Tell us about how everything is looking there. Give all of us that, don't California, so we can't go to Disneyland, and insight on what everything is looking like. Is the magic still there? Is it more magical now that you've been so long without it? So I'm excited. And then, of course, your girls, always here for you on a Wednesday. Always here for you on a Wednesday. So, and again, if you want to book that $999 a night room at Christmas at the Grand Floridian, just email her. She's
$199 right up top in July. Yeah. Whatever your purse will allow, I'm here for you.
We've got you covered. So also, if I hear anything, I do expect next week we'll probably have the major lines, not Disney, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Celebrity, Norwegian, to kind of give us an insight on what they plan to have their onboard experience look like when cruises start operating both from non-domestic and domestic ports in June and July. So be sure to watch for news on that. I'm covering all that stuff so you guys can know what your cruise experience will be like. Boy, that was a mouthful. Yeah, that's kind of what we've got planned for the next week. For all of y'all that are missing Angela and Leslie and Whitty, we will be back with the whole club soon for a Sunday Funday with Crescent Lake Club. I think we're going to try and get back to doing once a month instead of once every Sunday, and just kind of spread out and give you guys more content. We will have podcasts coming, and like I said, we've got 2 new agents, the Jays, our Disney dads, joining us. So you'll have new faces to meet and listen to talk about Disney and all sorts of fun travel things. But I think that's it for me. I got to go boil some water.
Sounds
I have
good.
Water. I have water service. I'm okay. But yeah, so until next time, we'll see y'all soon. Reach out. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that notifications bell. Follow us on Twitch. And we'll see y'all real soon. Bye.
Bye.